I never once have forgotten about this comic. I think about it constantly. I also haven't been able to touch it in over a year. These two things are both true. I want to show you where I work because I think there's this idea that artists have these beautiful art studios with gorgeous, perfect lighting. Yeah, that's not this. Essentially, I'm working in my parents' attic. It's not really an attic, it's just the upstairs area that no one uses really, but it is where I've carved out a little space for me to work. Is it a little cluttered and cramped? Yeah, but it's better than it was. I like that it's private and I can get my work done without having any distractions. While there can be a lot of natural light during the day, it's also glaring and harsh and will burn me if I'm in direct contact with it. So not a big super fan of that, and I usually just keep up that curtain. Also, the temperature is interesting. I try to keep it on a certain temperature, but then the vent that's right above my desk keeps going on and off like every 10 minutes, and anytime I'm trying to record or do a video, it's just kind of annoying. But, hey, it's a space and it allows me to work and do my work. And I tend to really focus on that last part there because there's been a lot going on with me lately. One of the main things is for the past 4 months is I just didn't even know where I would even be living now. So my comic, The Golden Troupe, it doesn't pay my bills. Yet. So in the meantime, I have this part-time job where I get to paint. And for the first time in my life, all of my income is from my art. And I've only been doing this for the past month and a half now, so it's pretty amazing to me still. In that way, I absolutely love it. I get to create all day and do subject matter that I really love. I also don't have to deal with customers directly, and I get to improve my skills as an artist, and I love that part of it. But of course there has to be a trade-off, right? Like everything else though, it does have a cost. I'm having to spend lots and lots of time trying to learn how to make my process more efficient in painting. It seems impossible that I can work quickly. I've been trying all this time to get faster at painting, and I am just not good at that. You might think, oh, what's the big deal? Just do what you can in the time you can. But the problem is, the longer I take on each piece is the longer that it takes, and I have to get a certain amount of paintings done every single week. Not only do I need to get them done, but the longer I take on it is more time that I don't have to work on my comic. My arm hurts pretty bad now because of all this work I've been doing, and I've not been able to take a break. But I get to paint all the time, so yay. I go back and forth on it. Some days I am absolutely floored that I get to do this, and then other days I can't get a painting to work right. It takes me like 8 hours to do one painting, and I fall apart. If I don't do this though, then I won't be able to pay my bills, and I'll have to get some other job that's even less related to what I love to do. And after doing that for, the past 20 years, I can say that despite all the challenges with this one, it's still better than doing anything else. I listen to videos and music and imagine what I'd like to be doing and drawing and animating with my comic instead, all while I'm doing this other work for this other thing that actually pays money right now. So I love it, but the fact that it is taking away the time and effort and energy I could be using to do other things that I'd rather do, like my comic, well, it's nothing new, but it's still frustrating. It's like I can love it and sort of not at the same time. At the beginning of the year, I got a pretty, shall we say, big surprise. And I had to make some quick decisions, and in the process of trying to figure out everything, I ended up at 41 moving back in with my parents again. Now I'm over on the East Coast, but everything I have is back on the West Coast. And that kind of causes a problem when you're an artist and you need your art supplies to actually, create. That's just the practical. Mentally, it's been a whole different other challenge, because this isn't exactly a small or inconsequential thing I've been dealing with. It's kind of one of those big, life-changing, life-altering things that totally veers your life in a completely new direction. And I just never knew what that direction would be. Not only was I inundated with client work and having to get the paintings done every week, kind of the thing with not knowing where you're going to be living, it's really hard to even think about anything past it. It consumes your entire thought process for the entire day. Any free time I might have, a few minutes here and there, I couldn't just sit and think about some of the things I really wanted to. Maybe more fun things. I had to be sorting out logistics and planning for multiple different scenarios. And what if I had to pack everything back up and then move back to the West Coast, or figure out how I'm going to plan to get all my stuff from the West Coast and take it back to the East Coast? What then? How much time is that supposed to take now? Which one will it even be? When will it even happen? And at the end of the day, I just kept working, because what else am I going to do? What else could I really do? Well, here's what I was able to get done this week. It's really not much, but it exists now. A week ago, it didn't. So, at least there's that. One of the main kind of conundrums I'm coming up across with working on this comic is that one of the main characters really goes through a transformation. Given what I'm dealing with right now, it's kind of funny actually. But I need to figure out what that final form will look like in this character. And while I have a lot of ideas about what that could really look like, I haven't quite pinned it down yet. So here's a little spoiler about this character, and I'll get more into it in the next video, but here you go. In a way, I think it's kind of funny. I never can seem to have any stability in my life. 5 years ago, I was living in an RV by myself, trying to work on this comic. And 5 years later, I'm finding myself possibly doing that same thing again. In some ways, so much has changed between now and then. But in a lot of just real practical ways, nothing's really different. We tend to be told that, or at least the perception is, that you can be creative when everything is stable and working out. When you have the time and money and space and a plan. And given how my life has gone, I just really don't think that's how that works. Or at least, that's not how it works for most of us. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. The mess is the condition. It's the background. It's the background noise of everything. It's like the very instability itself is the baseline. And you either wait for it to clear up and go away, which it never does, or you just do what you can when you can. You make the damn thing anyway. Just a little bit at a time. I got this done this week. It's not a lot, but it's something. Well, that's where things are right now. Unstable entirely chaotic, like usual. But I'm still fucking going. How about you? Are you still doing things despite the fact that the world is actively trying to conspire against you? I'm just curious if I'm the only one, or if you're somehow still trying to do this creative project as well. Hopefully I'm not alone in that. Let me know in the comments. If you're new here and you're watching, the Golden Troupe is already done, Volume 1. Links in the description if you want to check it out. Next time, I'll take you through the process of how I got to Aspa's final character design. See you later.